These notes are over section 2.5, solving compound inequalities. First, let's do a quick warm-up. This says to write an inequality that is represented by this graph. So it has an open circle at -3 and points left. That's less than. So x is less than -3. Same thing with this one. Go ahead and try this real quick. All right, it has a closed circle at 6 and opens to the right. That's greater than or equal to. So x is greater than or equal to 6. So we're going to use those skills that we've learned in 2.1 to 2.4 in today's section. Okay, writing and graphing compound inequalities. A compound inequality is an inequality that's formed by joining two inequalities with the word and or the word or. So they use and or they use or. Okay. On and inequalities, the graph of a compound inequality with and shows numbers that are solutions of both inequalities. So let's see what this is talking about. So you'll see it using the word and right here. X is greater than or equal to 2 and x is less than 5. Let's just graph them both separately. X is greater than or equal to 2 is a closed circle at 2 and pointing to the right. X is less than 5 is an open circle at 5 and pointing to the left. And so where both of these happen, so think about where both things happen, is from 2 all the way up until 5. Because when you go past 5, that's only the x is greater than or equal to 2. And when you go to the left of 2, that's only the x is less than 5. So you're looking for the section where they both occur. So that happens from 2 to 5 and everything in between. So you see my closed circle at 2, just like I had on greater than or equal to 2, my open circle at 5, just like I had on 5, and then connecting in between. So I have, if I write that, I have 2 is less than or equal to x is less than 5. So take a look at how I wrote that. The symbol between the 2 and the x has the underline, just like this one does. And notice how the symbol opens towards the x. If you think of that like the alligator, it's eating the x. So it still is right here. It's opening towards the x. So this 2 is less than or equal to x is the same as what's right here. It's just the entire thing was flipped around so the x is on the right-hand side. And then you have x is less than 5, and that's what's written right here. Okay, or inequalities. The graph of a compound inequality with or shows the numbers that are solutions of either inequality. So not both, meaning either one. So y is less than or equal to -2. That's this graph from -2 to the left. Greater than 1 is this graph. So it's not where both graphs happens, it's where either or graph happens. So when you combine them, they create an inequality that is just pointing away from each other. So and inequalities connect like this every time, or inequalities point away from each other like this. And how you write the or inequality is you literally just write the two inequalities and you put or. There's no way to combine them into one like on both. All right, let's look at an example. So it says, write each sentence as an inequality, graph each inequality. Okay, a number x is greater than -8, so x is greater than -8, and x is less than or equal to 4. So less than or equal to 4. So if we go ahead and we look at this, I'm going to put this on the number line. I'm going to go by 2's just for space. 6, -4. All right, greater than -8 goes to the right. Less than or equal to 4 is a closed circle at 4, goes to the left. Do you see how they're pointing to each other? So they're going to connect, and where they're going to connect is right in the middle, which remember, and inequality connects. Now, how we write that as one inequality is you do the -8 is less than x first. So notice it's exactly the same as what I have here. I just took the entire thing and flipped it so that the x is on the right-hand side. The symbol was opening towards the x. It's still opening towards the x. Now finish up with this. X is less than or equal to 4. All right. So if you notice, I just took the two and combined them. Okay, let's try this one. A number y is at most 0. At most means it's less than or equal to 0. Or y is at least 3 halves. At least means greater than or equal to 3 halves. You can put as 3 halves or 1.5. So if I have 0 here, and then I have a half, 1, and then 3 halves, which is 1.5, less than or equal to 0 is a closed circle at 0 pointing left. Greater than or equal to 3 halves is a closed circle at 3 halves pointing right. And then there's no way to combine them when they're or. You just write them like that. Okay. On C, a number D is more than 0, so D is greater than 0, and less than 10. D is less than 10. Okay, so if we go here, I'm going to go 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, D is greater than 0 is an open circle at 0 going to the right, and D is less than 10 is an open circle at 10 going to the left. See how they're pointing to each other? They're going to connect. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make them connect, and then I have 0 is less than D is less than 10. I put these in what's called number line order. I don't want the 10 first, I want the 0 first, and the 10 last, like in order of a number line. Notice how my sign didn't have an underline. It still doesn't. It was opening towards the D. It still opens towards the D. And then same thing here. My sign didn't have an underline. It still does not. I didn't change it. It opens to the 10. It still opens to the 10. Okay. A number A is fewer than 6. A is less than, negative 6. Or no less than, A is not less than, that means greater than or equal to negative 3. Okay, these are pointing away from each other because they say or. So less than negative 6 is open circle at negative 6 goes to the left. Greater than or equal to negative 3, closed circle at negative 3 goes to the right.